My name is Yvonne Dodd, also known as EVD, and my company is The Authentic Hustle. The Authentic Hustle is all about living your life on purpose, with integrity, and unapologetically. If you're like a lot of the entrepreneurs or professionals that I work with, having your own business is not just about being your own boss or getting rich fast. It's about building and creating and growing and learning and expressing whatever awesomeness it is that you have and really getting it out there. For you, it's about the long game. It's really about who you are. I provide one-on-one coaching, and I also do workshops and seminars, and I also have group coaching. So when you're in a one-on-one, it's usually either weekly or bi-weekly for at least a 6-month period. We go through a whole process of really uncovering what it is that you want to achieve, but also like who you are, your mission and vision, if that's something that's important to you. I always want to make sure that we get to the heart of why it is that you're doing what you do, because that affects every other thing. And it's the one thing that we never take the time to actually dig deep and figure out. And the thing is, it does take time. You don't just get some worksheets and sit down for 20 minutes or even an hour and figure it out. It's really something that does evolve over time. I'm with my clients every step of the way as they're having epiphanies, as they're drawing in new information, as they're assessing what it is that they've done in the past.
To me, having Yvonne there, who's been there, sort of done that before in terms of starting up her own business, but also having those coaching skills that are more formalized and guiding you to ask the right questions of yourself. Every day that we meet, I sort of knew that, wow, I'm gonna go see Yvonne today. And, each hour that I spend with her, I know, or I knew, and then now I know, that there's just gonna be epiphany moments in the growth and the development of my business.
So often we may go through our lives feeling like we're being pulled in different directions, or we may feel like we're being a hamster on a wheel. And a lot of that has to do with not the fact that we don't have aim, or we don't have goals, or we're not good enough or smart enough. It usually has to do with the fact that we haven't really gotten down to the heart of what it is that we really want, or who it is that we really want to be in the world.
So Yvonne's my business life coach, and I'm in her all-in circle. And I've been self-employed since 2003 in some form or other. And I've done consulting and professional services, and now I own a brick and mortar business. So I had some really bad habits that had developed, and they were so integrated into my life that I didn't understand what they were and how negatively they were affecting me. And the short of it is that I wasn't making room for myself in my business, and it put me in a position that I didn't even understand the depth of burnout that I was suffering from. In the last 6 months, I've had some pretty major breakthroughs that have to do with learning how I internally prioritize things. But about 3 weeks ago, I had this breakthrough, and I came up with a mission statement for my life. Basically, the first rule in life is to know yourself. And to know yourself and to give yourself over to your passion and to your pursuits. I think that's what the Authentic Hustle means to me.
With the workshops and seminars that I have one called Soulful Strategic Planning. I have one called Crafting an Authentic Brand. I've got one called Networking Doesn't Have to Suck. While one-on-one coaching is important and more customized, and it helps you dig deeply into your head even further than you would, it's great. I'm like a cheerleader and a drill sergeant in one, right? In workshops and in a group environment, it's awesome because you have some coaching, but you also you're able to connect with other people around you that are going through the same things. And that connection involves not only hearing what someone else is going to, but also like sharing your experiences and relating to them, helping them. It's amazing because there's nothing like that feeling of really understanding that you're not alone and that people are having the same struggles as you are. It's so important to remember that it's not all business plans and checklists. I mean, you could read a bunch of books and get all of the information in the world online and check a bunch of things off on a list and, you know, scratch off the to-dos, and accumulate a bunch of things. But you could still end up feeling miserable if it doesn't have purpose, if it's not about your mission, if it doesn't make sense for you and it doesn't represent what you are here to do uniquely, then it's gonna be all for what? And so that's why the authentic hustle is so important, because it's not a one-size-fits-all type thing. It's something that's made for exactly who you are, and it's not something where, like, you know, I'm telling you this is what you need to be doing. It's about uncovering what you already know that you need to do. It just kind of guides you along and gives you some help in figuring it out.
Since I've been working with Yvonne, I do have a little bit more of a laser focus on where I would like to go. Whereas before I was kind of searching, and the process of working with Yvonne has been starting from what actually drives you, what's your personal mission statement, what is that why for yourself. So starting there and then looking into what you're actually doing, and if it's getting you there, of what you're trying to achieve or not, and if it isn't, how do you get there? And so now I would just say that I'm kind of back on track of where I like to be, of more focused and knowing where I'm going and seeing the ultimate vision of what that could potentially become. Authentic hustle to me is hustling to fulfill your purpose. So it's not just hustling to make a buck and just kind of get a quick fix or whatever. It's deeper than that, and it has a broader mission than that. So you're hustling, but the authenticity of it is that you're fulfilling both your purpose of what you are great at and what you could potentially get paid for and what the world needs, and hopefully you love it at the same time.
A lot of people talk about, you gotta find your purpose, you gotta find your passion, you gotta find your why, but there isn't a lot in terms of how to actually do it and what kind of steps you need to take to get there. And so the why is important, because once you know that, everything else falls into place. If you want to do bigger and better things, you have to manage yourself in a bigger way. No matter what stage you're in or where you are, the Authentic Hustle can help you do the work, show up, and show out. For practical guidance, tools, and inspiration, visit theauthentichustle.com. And whether you're near or far, in person or virtual, contact me and we'll get started on your Authentic Hustle.